So we'll go ahead and call the Board of Public Works Safety meeting to order for July 24th, 2019. Staff, please note the presence of a quorum.
We do have a quorum.
All right. On to action item number 1, consideration and approval of minutes from June 26, 2019. Having had opportunity to review those minutes, are there any additions, corrections, or comments?
None.
Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from June 26th of 2019.
I will second that. Have a motion made, seconded, to approve action item number 1, minutes of June 26, 2019 as written. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to contracts and agreements. Action item number 2, ATC Group Services and City of Westfield on-call contract supplemental 1.
So this is an on-call contract for material testing. This company does our pavement cores and they analyze the data. We've previously had a $10,000 on-call contract with them and we've used up all that money. So
That wasn't, how long ago was that? That we authorized that?
I think
Didn't seem
16.
like-
I think 16.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm thinking of
17?
something else
Yeah.
that's on call. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
We have a few of them with consultants.
Yeah, okay, got it.
You might be thinking about the A&F traffic.
That's what it was.
Yep, that
Yeah.
was a couple months ago.
Right, okay.
Any other discussion?
Make a motion to approve action item number 2, ATC Group Services and City of Westfield on-call contract supplement 1.
I will second that. Have a motion made, seconded, to approve action item number 2, ATC Group Services, City of Westfield on-call contract supplemental 1. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I'll do this one.
On to action item number 3, East Street Extension Contract Amendment.
As you know, we're doing the East Street extension from 196 to State Road 38 through the North Point development. This is a supplemental with no dollar changes in the contract itself. It's a $0 change. It's just some accounting, some housekeeping work for right-of-way acquisition. We had to add 4 parcels that weren't anticipated to the project as part of the design process. Our consultant looked at their numbers and reduced their cost per unit down, so there's no net change.
No net change.
Correct.
Just wanted to make sure.
That's good work there.
Yep.
Good stuff. I make a motion to approve action item number 3.
I will second that. Motion made and seconded to approve action item number 3, East Street Extension Contract Agreement. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to action item number 4, Midland Trail Utility Easement, Bruns.
As John's moving this up, I have been working for the better part of a year to acquire this and the other easements for the Midland Trail corridor. It is the stretch behind the restaurants on Restaurant Row, so from
Okay.
Mill to what will be the future Poplar Street. All of the others have already been through the process. This is an easement with Bruns, which Ralph Bruns is the resident in the house between Italian House and Greeks. Citizens is also putting their sewer along this corridor. So this is the last piece that we needed in order for them to come through, clear, install their sewer, and then we will build the trail on top of that, hopefully later this fall. So approval for us to partner with Citizens on the easement and the costs associated with the easement to be able to extend sewer to what will be the whole new development, which is the Grand Millennium Center, as well as the Midland Trail.
Okay. Any questions?
Cost is,
Cost is $30,000 for the easement. We are paying 20 and Citizens is paying 10. So
is that about what you expected it to be?
it is. It's a little higher than what I'd hoped. It is probably cheaper than a condemnation, which was the alternative.
Right.
So,
Faster.
and yeah, much faster. The only way the sewer gets done and the trail gets done is if we were able to amicably come to this easement. So
Is that the property that somewhat looks like a fortress?
yeah, fortress.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. Yeah. Yep. So in addition to that, also we are going to build a buffer privacy fence along the trail, both for his privacy and to shield his stuff from
To
our
kind
trail.
of make it more aesthetically pleasing when you're on the
nice.
trail.
Good, that's good.
Yeah. Any other discussion?
No.
I'll entertain a motion to approve action item number 4, Midland Trail Utility Easement Bruns.
So moved?
Have a motion made and seconded to approve action item number 4, Midland Trail Utility Easement runs. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to action item number 5, termination agreement, City of Westfield GS Sports Ventures LLC.
Yes, this is a mutual termination agreement between the City of Westfield and GS Sports Ventures, which was the initial contractor selling sponsorship on behalf of the campus. The terms laid out here have been reviewed by both parties as well as the payment timelines, and this is all revenue that was due to them by way of their sales over the last 3 years.
So not for services, but for sales,
This is all sales. This is their 20%.
based on what they brought in the door.
Yes.
And can you talk a little bit about what the, what model we're moving to, or
Yes.
what's causing the termination?
Yeah, so the lack of recent activity caused us to look at another opportunity, and through a partnership with Hamilton County Tourism, they are paying essentially the retainer fee for us to move to a new company called Spectrum Sponsorship Group. And they are selling assets at the park as well as other facilities within the county, and we'll still receive our net share of those revenues, very similar to what we're doing within this agreement, but do not have the expense of the retainer.
So it's actually a better deal,
And
so,
this, we did not have a retainer in place with GS, which was part of the issue with the sales developing. So we feel that we're much better positioned with the new company.
and is the shares
Yeah, we'll receive 80% of the.
same share agreement?
Yeah.
So the current agreement was underperforming. There was an opportunity to change for a better opportunity
Yeah.
to increase revenue.
And there's the reason that we elected to do a mutual termination, there's language within this agreement that allows GS to capture revenue from any future sponsorship that is not developed by them.
No.
Therefore, it just makes sense for us. Otherwise, we could have let this sunset, but with that language in there, we didn't want to have to give up more revenue than we had.
Yeah, so you could have just said that up front, and then that would have taken away my other question.
Wise move. What do we know about Spectrum? Has the county tourism been working with them for a
Yes,
while,
they've been
or?
working with them for a while. It's a national company. They focus on naming rights deals, so that's going to be their primary focus for us initially, and then we're going to perform some of the smaller banners, things of that nature in-house, developing some of those relationships.
There's a lot of opportunity for revenue.
There's a ton. This is our biggest gap right now, so we're hoping to
Okay.
focus on that a lot this year.
Other places that Spectrum does business, or?
Yes, so we have a full list. They work with probably half of the Fortune 500s and a lot of arenas and stadiums throughout the country. So we have a deck that I can definitely share.
That would be great. I'd just be interested in
Absolutely.
seeing it. Yeah, that's,
I'll share the deck they shared with us when they did their proposal.
Any other questions?
I just want to make sure I understand. So what gives you confidence that these guys, in addition to their great track record, will deliver more than the previous?
Well, so we've only, because of this, we've only signed a one-year agreement with them.
Oh,
which
good.
started a month ago. And they're on the hook to produce a certain level of activity 6 months into the agreement, or we can get out of
Terminate.
it.
Okay.
So,
Good.
being that this is one of our biggest areas, for future revenue, we want to make sure we didn't tie ourselves to one company for too long if they weren't able to produce.
Sounds like you've done a nice job on this deal here.
Yeah.
We're trying.
Agreed? No?
I'll make a motion to approve action item number 5, termination agreement, City of Westfield GS Sports Ventures LLC.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to approve action item number 5, termination agreement, City of Westfield GS Sports Ventures LLC. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to action item number 6, 2019 paving striping contract.
Are we
signing
stripping?
authority.
Are we striping? Striping.
We're striping. There
Just
is no,
checking.
yeah.
So it's just a signing authority for Jeremy to sign the contract for our restriping all throughout the city.
Stripping is 2 Ps.
I know.
She was testing me.
So we received 2 quotes. ITS was the low quote, that's why there's an exact dollar amount instead of not to exceed like there usually is.
And how does this compare to what we paid last year? Is the services, are they going up? Are they,
Unit prices are the same.
Same.
They're what I expected.
okay, and are we doing more striping than we have previously done?
We are actually doing less because they are putting paint down all the long line, and any roads that we resurface, we're putting thermoplastic down, which lasts a lot longer. So the goal is to maybe one day not have to have this contract.
So it's reducing with the goal of eliminating the need for this on an
Maintenance.
annual basis.
Yep.
Painting is an annual activity. Thermo typically will last about 5 years under normal traffic load. So.
So what happens after the 5? Then it has to be painted, or is there a different thermo application?
You can paint over the top. If you want to do thermo again, you have to grind it off and
Okay.
reapply. But the goal is hopefully that it lasts long enough until we resurface again.
That'll be resurfaced and then thermo, and then it's perpetual at that point that you eliminate the need to spend $74,000 on striping a year.
Correct.
And that's a bit less than what, if we look back over years past, it's,
Come down a little. I was gonna
it's
ask you that
declining.
next. That's within the ballpark of what you were, okay,
no, yeah, it's what was budgeted.
okay,
Actually, a little below what.
little below.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Good.
Yep. Make a
Alright.
motion to approve action item number 6.
I will second that. A motion made and seconded to approve action item number 6, 2019 pavement striping contract signing authority. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as listed.
I'll second that. Motion made and seconded to approve the consent agenda as written. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. For lack of a police or fire chief, let's go right to Public Works. How's that?
Certainly.
You want me to give the same update I
today's
gave this
update?
morning?
Yeah.
For the 3rd time. So the big news, I suppose, is Monon Phase 5. We have set 5 spans on the north side of State Road 32. The 6th and 7th span, including the span over State Road 32, will go up August 21st. It's a PM closure, 7 PM to 7 AM, and will require the closure of State Road 32 between Wheeler and Oak Ridge Road.
Okay,
For
stop.
12
Can you,
hours.
okay, for 12 hours, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
7 PM to 7 AM.
Oh, okay.
It's a nighttime closure.
August 21st.
August 21st
And it's
into the morning.
32 and Wheeler, both closed?
Just 32 between Wheeler and Oak Ridge. And
Okay.
we will have, obviously, social media blasts going out
Right.
in accordance, and also NDOT will be putting up their digital signs as well to relay information to
Yeah, from
travelers.
the district, school district
we-
point of view too, we need to
We, absolutely. And
amplify it.
we were required, I think, on the contract to give NDOT 30 days notice on the dates, which we did, so that they can get their messages out as well.
Okay.
So,
With an October date of opening still?
is that still correct, Dustin?
Probably be near the end of October.
October, Dustin?
Yes.
October, did you say?
I said the end of October.
Halloween.
And
You're killing me. You're
and there
killing me.
will still be work to be done into November.
But it'll be open
It will safely be open by the end
in
of
October,
October.
okay.
So the big span over 32 is 176 feet, comes in 3 pieces. They assemble, and then there's 2 cranes that'll lift it in place and set it on its piers. So pretty exciting stuff for that. Additionally, the Poplar Street Extension project, we are reviewing contract documents on that. The developer closed on the right-of-way for that roadway project. So we will be looking to get that bid in the next 3 to 4 weeks, hopefully, to get that rolling still this year for start of construction. Resurfacing, starting up in the next couple of weeks. Dustin mentioned the pavement marking contract starting up as well. So those are kind of maintenance type projects that we have ongoing this summer. And then what else am I missing? Grand Junction Plaza. We received 5 responses to our RFP for construction management of that project. That's the park project downtown. We have shortlisted 2 firms, Wilhelm and Hagerman, and we will be conducting interviews next week for those 2 firms to make a selection on our construction manager for that project. So stay tuned. There will hopefully be a contract that will be getting signed through Board of Public Works with our construction manager, either in, probably be September by the time we get all the contract details worked out, but we'll be making a selection shortly. Did I miss anything?
I saw some folks out, I didn't look closely to see if it was you, on Wheeler this morning, the roundabout north of 186th Street on the way into GP, sprucing up.
Yes,
Colts Camp?
It was very likely Brightview or
Brightview,
our
maybe
staff.
it was, yeah.
So yeah, we're this, I guess, first 3 days prior to camp starting tomorrow, there's
Mm-hmm.
been kind of a mad push, and I know you and a group are out there as well, but, so everything, did we get everything painted up there, Dustin?
In process.
Okay.
It'll be done at the end of October, Jeremy.
Well, I hope not.
Indicate. Very
So
end.
the intention was we get all the roads repainted. We touched up all of the horseshoes that we painted on the road. Obviously routine trash pickup, and then Brightview's kind of doing a sweep of landscaping and all those other things. So it'll hopefully look as shiny and pretty as possible starting
Tomorrow.
in the morning.
Did you get my little friend removed?
I believe he's gone. He's been relocated.
Okay.
One more project we had that I missed, 151st Street culvert replacement west of Town Road is a small structure replacement. We will be opening that road up Friday or Saturday this week, so that project went extremely smoothly and pretty quick, so that was a good project to get done and get the road opened back up.
Do you want to talk briefly about the Monon Bridge, 161st
Monon
announcement?
Tunnel?
Yeah, Monon Tunnel.
Yeah, I can let John do that one as well, but
Sure. So we did have a pedestrian who was struck by a vehicle 2 weeks ago. Fortunately, she is okay. She was hospitalized, I believe, for 3 days and released happened on Thursday, I think, and released on Sunday. Fortunate that it wasn't more severe. We're lucky there.
Sure.
We've for a long time known that the at-grade crossing has some issues with safety. You come up a crest curve when you're eastbound. There's some sight distance issues when you're westbound. And despite having stop signs up on the trail, not all pedestrians will yield. And there's maybe some confusion with traffic as to whether they need to come to a stop, slow down. I know in the past we've had public outreach with our police department to tell people how to best navigate that. But in this case, we did have a collision with a vehicle and a pedestrian. As a result, and additional, not just that, but also we've long known that there's a safety issue. So we have engaged a consultant to look at design for a tunnel under 161st Street. If you recall, we had an engineer's report and an over-under study done at that location 2 years ago, late 2017. And it was determined that a tunnel was approximately $750,000 cheaper than a bridge for that crossing. So that's the direction we are going to move forward with, is looking at design and trying to get that constructed as quickly as possible. We're looking at funding options for that now, and we'll have more information in the future.
That's not where we installed the coffin.
It
That
is.
was-
It is.
That is, so the
It
coffin
is.
is there?
So yeah, there's a concrete slab on piles underneath 161st Street, which will allow 161st Street to remain open during construction of the tunnel.
Right.
So
Okay.
that was kind
That's
of
good.
some good
Yeah.
forethought.
And just thinking further down in Carmel, I mean, that tunnel starts well back of the
So
road.
it has to, the tunnel grade, the path grade can't exceed 5% for ADA compliancy over that long run. So if you imagine the amount of depth, 5% is 5 feet over 100 feet, 5 feet vertically over 100 feet horizontally. So if you imagine how much depth needs to come down there, you're talking about hundreds of feet south and north of 161st Street to get the vertical clearance that you need. So it'll be a large project, absolutely.
How long will the trail be closed?
So we'd like to try and keep it open if we can with a temporary solution. We're not far enough along in design to know
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
Construction of that tunnel will be a full construction season, I'm sure.
Yeah. Can you report back to us?
Yeah.
When you have, a better idea. of
One
all those things?
option may be to try and look at a pedestrian detour route if it has to be closed. So looking at maybe utilizing a Midland Monon loop of some kind. And we'll get into that with our consultant as we get a little further.
I guess to add to that too, there is a temporary solution that we've been working on for a period of time, which adds a very temporary pedestrian refuge and a little bit of pavement on the south side. We can do that without right-of-way acquisition, which is one of the big hurdles out there. We're hopeful that we can get that done later this year. And then we also added some solar-powered flashing stop signs for the trail that went up last week. So I think that's about
I don't know about this one, but I've seen many near misses where the vehicles stop when they shouldn't stop in one direction.
But not the other.
The person starts across and the other vehicle does not stop. And I don't know if that's what happened this time, but wholly preventable accident. Although everyone knows this is a dangerous crossing, we've always known that. But you know, down to the root cause, many times the actions of people not following the directions, like you said, and the city, I'd seen somewhere on social media blasted out again about, you know, who stops, who doesn't stop and whatever. So I know the Westfield police have done their due diligence on trying to educate the public. But then coming through Carmel Sunday and right downtown on the Monon and on my motorcycle, and suddenly the car in front of me jams the brakes because somebody was 30 feet back on the trail to cross. And you know, many times the motorists are the ones creating the hazard for the pedestrian.
Yes.
Yeah, and we look back at historic crash data when we submitted this project for federal funding last fall, and the vehicle-on-vehicle accidents at that crossing were almost exclusively rear-end collisions because of that. So,
Because of someone stopping when they shouldn't.
and yeah, you're trying to be a nice, polite driver and let the pedestrian through, but it actually can cause
It creates
a
a
more
hazard.
serious issue if you do. So,
Right.
Right.
On a positive note, I was at Grand Park 2 weeks ago and I hadn't had a chance yet, and I ran north to 220 something, and just really impressive. I had not been north of Monon Trail Elementary.
Good job.
It looks great. It looks great.
it. It's a very nice piece down
Yeah,
there.
it's really nice.
I did have one other question, and I don't think the chiefs are going to make it, so we're not going to wait. But when we were talking about East Street, I got up to get more water. What the timeline on that continuing north, the construction? What are we looking at on that?
We're looking to let that project in July of 2020.
Okay.
With construction then starting a month or so after.
Okay.
It'll be it'll likely be phased like a two-phase construction. So constructing the north half first and then the south half second.
Okay.
It'll take a full construction, well, all of 2020, remaining 2020, and then most of 2021 to complete.
So it'd be like 38 south to a point, and then
Yeah.
either from
About
there
two-thirds.
south or from 191 north or wherever.
Yeah, 196. It's 196 to 38.
I gotta
The
go
north
back anyway.
two-thirds
I
from
gotta
State Route
get the road
38
impact fee agreement.
down to about two-thirds the length will be the first phase.
Okay.
To provide access to the north for developments going in at North Point. And then, so if you think about currently the access to Bastion is the access road from 196th Street that goes north.
Right.
That'll remain in place while we construct the north two-thirds.
Gotcha.
And then, once that's open to traffic, we can take that access drive out and construct the south third for
Okay.
phase two.
That makes sense. And then is Grassy Branch still going to close at 38 as originally planned?
Yes,
That's a pretty dangerous spot right
it's a
there.
safety concern more than
Yeah.
anything, yep.
Now I gotta get
Okay.
this.
Yeah, Grassy Branch will make a curve to the west and tie into East Street.
Yeah, that's a good solution.
And then that approach on 38 at Grassy Branch that it currently exists will be vacated. So,
And then that'll be signaled at East and 38.
correct.
Okay. That's all I had. Kate, anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second that. Motion made and seconded to it. Motion made and seconded to it. Motion made and seconded to it. Motion